Hey everybody, Chris here from It's Mean Made, and in this video I am going to show you how to move around your model in Nomad Sculpt, so you can rotate, pan, and zoom without accidentally sculpting. And if you're new to Nomad Sculpt, I've got a free guide that shows you the 5 tools I recommend learning first. I'll also send you a few short lessons to help you get started. You can grab that down below. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at how to control that camera inside Nomad. Okay, so when it comes to Nomad Sculpt, one of the most important things that you need to be able to do is traverse through your 3D environment. And there are 3 big commands that you need to be able to know, or gestures, to be able to move around and do what you need to while sculpting. Now, the first one is one of the easiest, and it's the ones that everybody really just naturally does, and that is our zoom in and zoom out. And all you do is put 2 fingers on the screen and then squeeze them together to zoom out and pull them apart to zoom in. And that is all you need to do to zoom in and zoom out, and that is just a pinch and zoom. Now, the next one deals with 2 fingers as well, and that is being able to pan your camera around. Now, panning is not rotating, it's just shifting your camera up, down, left, and right. So when you put 2 fingers on the screen and then move them around, you can see how we are just panning around our environment. So we can see where we're at, and if we want to move around and make sure we can see something, that's all we got to do. 2 fingers and drag. Now, the next one is rotate, or orbiting, because you can rotate your model, which is spinning it, but we're actually rotating our camera, and the model itself is not rotating. So we're going to orbit our camera, and that is just 1 finger drag. And you can see how we can move around our environment and spinning around things. Now, the one thing that you might notice is like, okay, well, what if I want to be spinning around a specific object? So all you're going to do is tap on the object, it'll highlight, and then double tap. And now it has highlighted this object and it is in your dead center. So it's in the center of your screen, and now you can rotate this around and look at whatever you want when it comes to that. And all you have to do to switch that is tap on another object and then double tap on your background. And there you go. Now it's switched to that. Now, an important other little note that I should mention is the top right of our screen up here. Now, you can see when we're rotating around this little sphere that is red, blue, and green, it is rotating with our view. And this is just a representation so we can understand what angle we're looking at. So if I tap on the red right here where it says right, now I have a perfect view of my right side of my model. And I can also tap on any of the edges here as well. So I can tap on the top and it will give me the top. And if I do the bottom right there, and a nice little tip is if you tap it again, it will flip to the opposite side. So if I go to my front, tap again, now I'm on my back. And this is something that's just really nice that you can also click and drag, and I can rotate this just on the one axis, and then I can do it again on this axis. And at any time I wanted to go back to my original view, I can hit this little house, and that is my home view. Now, another really nice thing is when we're talking about double tapping. So I can tap on this like dice that I have here and double tap on my background, and I will zoom in and this will be my full screen. But also, if you see up here by just above the house, you see this little bracket, and that does the exact same thing. So I can move this over and I can just hit my bracket, and then right there I'm zoomed in. But if I tap it again, it will zoom out to my entire scene. Now, another thing is you might be working on something and you have a viewpoint and you're like, okay, I like this view. I don't want to move it. So all you need to do is click on this little lock icon, and now you cannot rotate around. All you can do is pan and zoom, and that is the only things that you can do. So if you're going to try to rotate, you're not going to be able to. So to undo that, all you got to do is click the lock button again, and now you can rotate again. Now, the next thing is, let's say that I am getting myself in like a certain view. I'm like, yep, this is the view that I really like, and I want to be able to save this. So what we're going to do is go to our top toolbar, and we're going to see this on the left, our little camera icon. We're going to click on that. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be able to, that very first button where it says Add View, we can just tap that, and now we have saved this view. And we can even rename it. So right now it's just called View. So let's click the little pencil, and now let's call this Tilt Down Front. So that is just kind of helping me know what that is. So that is from the front view, and it's tilted down. So if I've done anything, and if I'm moving around like this, all I have to do is come back and tap on this tilt down front, and boom, there we are. So if I move it and I come back and I tap there, it's automatically going to make me go back to my original view that I saved. The next thing to understand is we have two different views. We have orthographic and perspective. Perspective is going to give perspective to things. So I have increased the perspective quite a bit to help you understand that it really is just distorting your view. And also you can change this to be able to make it more natural to the eye. And I think it's usually around 25. And then you can see here, it's not as distorted, but it still is not perfect. Now, I recommend while modeling using orthographic view. That way there's no perspective and you can get a true sense of how your model is taking shape. Another thing that is important to mention is your types of rotation. So right here under rotation, we are already using Turntable. And Turntable is essentially keeping everything vertical around a certain pole, I guess, the z-axis. And all I'm doing is able to rotate this around and look up and down on it. But if we use Trackball, when we do the exact same motions, you can see how now I can easily rotate this around and I can angle this. This is something that you can't do in Turntable mode. Now, the other thing is you can use two fingers to rotate your model around. So you can see how I'm just twisting my two fingers around here, and it is instantly rotating it around it. So this is something that is very handy sometimes when you're modeling, and sometimes when I have some difficult areas to get into and Turntable isn't doing it for me, I will switch to Trackball and do this real quick so I can zoom in and really try to get in there where I need to get. And there we go. So I can like start modeling this area. But for the most part, I recommend, especially when you're getting started, Turntable is a really good method of rotating to be able to help you kind of keep your orientation. Now, if we scroll down, we can also see our rotation, zooming, and translation speeds, and we can change those if we want. I recommend just leaving them at default, but if you want to play with those, go for it. And also, one of the other things that I think is worth mentioning is when you come down here, if you do not have these selected, I recommend selecting them. Double tap on object. So when we double tap on an object, it will focus directly to it. So if I double tap on the disk, it will zoom in, and if I double tap on the die, it'll zoom into that and focus that on the center. And that just helps us when we're rotating around an object. So if we move that around, and now I'm around the disk down here. And also at the very bottom where it says double tap on background, this is our toggle, and I like to keep this toggle on the third right here, which means if we keep double tapping on the background, it will go between our object and our scene. So if I double tap, it's going to show the whole scene. Double tap again, it'll zoom in on the object I have selected. So if I have this one selected, I double tap, it's the whole scene. Double tap, now it's the die. This is something very handy to use, especially if you're in the close details and you have this very complex model and you're really close to, like, let's say a special detail you're working on. You can easily just double tap and look at the whole character, and then double tap again and you can get right back to where you were working. So that's all the gestures and also the settings that I think you should really know to be able to traverse and rotate and move around your environment. Now, please, I strongly encourage you to create a few shapes and start practicing with this because this is one of those things that is going to become second nature to you. Because once you start getting used to it, you are going to be moving around your scene and sculpting with no problems whatsoever.
If you haven't grabbed the free guide yet, it walks you through the 5 tools I recommend learning first. And I'll send you a few short lessons to help you get started. The link will be down below for you. And in the next video, we're going to start sculpting by looking at the clay brush and how to use it to build your first shapes. So, as always, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in that next video right here.